is Ring of Honor wrestler Raymond Rowe, and you're listening to WNS.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
We welcome you to episode 230 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Okay, Daniel.
Yep.
We're on Stitcher.
Yeah.
Beyond Pod.
That we are.
And Player.fm.
Indeed.
All you need to do. All you needs to do.
All you gots to do. Suckers gots to know.
Search Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Boom! There it is.
You'll find us.
That's all you gotta do. And we're also on the Twitter.
Yes.
Say it.
The Twitter.
The Twitter. That's
the
right.
Twitter.
At WNS Podcast. You can follow me at WNS_Daniel. You can follow Tyler.
No, you can't.
At Tyler_Abear. He might not tweet you, but it never hurts to follow him, right?
I guess.
So welcome to the show. Two-man show this week. Woo! Whoop, whoop. Yep, Doug's still on vacation.
Yeah, the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
Disney World.
He's still there? I figured he'd be going
I don't know.
other places.
I thought he's still at Disney.
How much fun can you really have for 2 weeks at Disney World? Like, is there really that much to see? I mean, maybe
there's a lot of things that you may see everything, but you probably can't ride all the rides at a certain time because it's long lines and stuff. And plus, everyone there is happy. It's like it really is the happiest place on earth. Well, they probably are.
They're pumped full of alcohol and all kinds of other stuff.
Beer and titties.
Yeah, titties and beer. So welcome to the show. It's going to be kind of a short show, more than likely, just because there's not a whole lot for us to talk about this week. I didn't catch Ring of Honor. I didn't catch Impact. I caught NXT. You unfortunately did not.
I caught Lucha.
I caught Lucha as well. So we're going to talk about Lucha. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to interview Ring of Honor wrestler Raymond Rowe. Ray Rowe. Ray Rowe. That's right. So, and we don't have any Q&A this week, so it might be a little bit short, but fear not, it is an episode for you, especially since there's just two of us. And we both want to get home and start Arkham Knight. That's right.
Tonight.
Yeah, be from me. So, it's going to be really interesting to hear our full thoughts on Arkham Knight, to hear our full thoughts on WWE 2K16 so far. Make sure you listen to our show on Sports Radio Beaumont, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central. Adjust your clocks accordingly. 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you listen to that. Download the Sports Radio Beaumont app. Go to sportsradiobeaumont.com. Really cool stuff. We certainly appreciate everyone who's supporting us. It's really getting us that $5. Woo!
Yes.
So, yeah. Anywho, so welcome to the show. Lots to talk about.
Yeah.
You doing all right, Tyler?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? You ready for your birthday?
Yes.
Woo!
Sure.
We're going to have fun.
My birthday.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Yeah, we're getting there next week. So, anything that you
I will be 30.
I'm so glad that you... No, you will not.
What?
No, you will not be.
Yeah, I will.
You will not be 30.
How old will I be?
You're going to be like 27.
Am I?
Or 28.
Am I?
I don't know.
Or 29.
You're not going to be 30 because I'm older than you and I'm 29.
I'm going to be 29.
You're not going to be 29. That's a lie.
No.
Stop lying. What happened to Honest Abear?
I will be 25.
There you no. You're not going to be 25.
There you go. Oh, no, that's not it either.
No, that's incorrect as well.
I'll be 26, okay?
I don't believe you.
I'll be 27.
It's getting to the point where I'm not going to believe whatever you say, so let's just move on.
I'll be 28.
So,
You'll never know.
Yeah. Anything you want for birthday present?
Some goddamn peace and quiet. Let me play Arkham Knight.
Well, I'm sure you'll get some of that.
I want to play some Arkham Knight.
Anything from the missus?
Blowjob? What?
What? Oh, like a lollipop.
Oh, I thought you were saying, I thought you were, I don't know, doing the blowjob, thing.
You're wrong.
Oh, brush your teeth? What were you trying to do?
Yeah, brush your teeth, dude. And get that filth out of your mouth.
I got,
it was a blowjob.
I got one gift from her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a a light picture cover for my game room, and it's like Wolverine.
Oh, that's cool. Neat. How's the game room coming along? I haven't been to your house in a while. How's it coming along?
It's going good. There's still a lot of stuff we have to
slow and steady.
Up, but yeah, right now for the last like
you're gonna be living there for the next number of years. You can take your time getting everything done.
So. Like the last few days, I cleaned up and stuff, but I haven't been fixing anything. All I want to do is play Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna play Arkham Knight.
It's like now that I have Mondays off, I could go into our media room and clean it up, but I really don't want to.
I don't want to do shit.
I want to sleep in, and then I have to mow, and then.
Also, I want to play Super Smash Bros. With the new characters.
Yeah, there you go.
Ryu.
Good stuff. So, yeah, well, happy early birthday. I know we'll get to do it next week as well.
We'll do it up.
I think. Well, no, calendar's not in here anymore. So I don't know where
July 3rd.
Yeah. So it's going to be party times. Make sure to wish Mr. A Bear some happy births.
Thank you.
On the day.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some feedback that we got. First bit of feedback we got from Bazooka Majin saying, great show, guys. And yeah, it is Cass singing The Price is Right thing. Enzo and Cass started it when Carmella was wrestling with blue pants.
Oh, really? I like it.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's cheesy.
It's cheesy as hell.
That's cheesy.
Yep. So really cool. Thanks for the feedback, Bazooka. Last bit of feedback we have is from Christine saying that was the greatest when Kevin Owens power bombed MGK off the stage and through the table, shoved him, saying, well, gave him a quick setup, kicked him, he fell over, and then bombed his ass. So I know, Tyler, you really liked it whenever MGK fell down, and you were kind of bummed out whenever they didn't show that part on Raw.
Yeah, like come on now, get your shit together.
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
So yeah. So let's dive on into Raw. Raw was, I mean, we watched it together. We watched the same Raw. It wasn't that great.
We watched it, yeah, and
and other stuff. We were distracted.
GTA
mods, ragdolling.
Videos,
if you haven't seen it,
look that shit up.
It's pretty hilarious. It's
during
awesome.
cutscenes.
Yeah, during the cutscenes, GTA ragdolls. Also, the whale.
The whale.
That was pretty good too. So I mean, we kicked things off with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out saying that, Heyman,
Bork Laser.
Yeah, Lesnar wants to fight Rollins, but he has to do a public apology first to only JBL and Michael Cole. Forget about the cameraman. Who cares about him? He's expendable anyways.
Fuck that guy.
So I don't know. This whole Raw was very just bleh to me. It was focused mostly around Seth Rollins trying to get the band back together. The Authority.
Oh, yeah.
Sucking up to J&J Security, sucking up to Kane, sucking up to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and all the good stuff. I'm not afraid of them. It's just, we're a family.
Triple H.
We have our fights. Yeah, suck it. So, I don't know. What were your thoughts on this opening segment?
I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind. So
I was running late.
Yeah, it was stupid. I mean, Lesnar gave Michael Cole a noogie.
So they are showing that, and people already know this, but they're showing that he is a babyface. He's not going to be like a super babyface and like be super cheesy. He's still going to look the badass part.
He's still the badass.
But you could tell that he's not going like more aggressive than he should. Like he's going to he'll fight you, but I guess in a regular, well, I don't know.
He's still aggressive.
He's still aggressive. He's just not.
He's just a fan favorite now.
Yeah. And plus he has to be the face-ish if he's going against Seth Rollins.
Yes, that is correct. So we have the first matchup of Raw being Kane versus Dean Ambrose. And I know, Tyler, you were uber excited about this matchup.
I was like, oh, yeah. And then, look, okay. We got distracted a lot during Raw, and I'm going to say some stuff like, this is supposed, and y'all going to be like, is this a wrestling podcast? Hey, we have weeks like this, okay?
Well, this was a bad week for Raw.
It was a bad week for Raw.
So I think we're justified in it.
Yeah, I watched something on my phone. I kept on going into the action, and I kept on getting out of the action. But who won?
Kane won, actually. Seth Rollins came out, tried to distract him, tried to distract Dean Ambrose. Then Kane did this really weak choke slam off the top rope from Dean. Like Dean Ambrose was on the top turnbuckle, and Kane went to
my
slam him, and it looked weak.
Well, everything that Kane does looks weak, right? Because even when he was going against Bork Laser later on.
Oh yeah, this was definitely not Kane's night to look strong, but it was what it was. But Rollins got in the ring. Hey, we're a family, and we, families fight, but they come back together, and blah blah blah.
Hug it out.
Yeah, hug it out.
Go talk to mom and dad.
So that takes us into the next matchup. Primetime players going up against Ascension. This was a fairly short matchup, just to put the champs over and establish them.
Yeah, it's like I don't care to see Ascension on my TV, and it's because WWE's made them that way for me. And it's like I wasn't the biggest fan of them in NXT. I know they were dominant,
but they were so much better in NXT.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I talked to you a little bit about that during the show, and I was like, I know that's their role to be like the jobbers and all that stuff, but that doesn't have to be. I don't know. I don't feel like someone has to be in that role all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's going to cause them to, hey, guess what? We're going to eventually break them up. Well, no, you didn't give them a chance.
Yep.
But it's WWE. So
all we are saying is give them a chance. Divas, right? No.
I wonder if they wish they were back in NXT.
Probably. I wouldn't blame them.
I don't know, but
But yeah, the primetime players end up getting the victory. After that, we got to see Sheamus going up against Roman Reigns.
Oh my gosh, I totally I'm done with this match. It's so bad. It's like it got to a point with Sheamus. It's like I don't care about Sheamus.
Don't care at all. No interest whatsoever.
And this sounds bad what I'm about to say, but he was in the same level as Roman Reigns to me.
Yeah.
And I don't really care for Roman Reigns. And obviously, if I really think about it, I do like Sheamus more than Roman Reigns. But they're like, I'm done with both of them.
Yeah, for me it was.
I'm sorry if I'm bashing on everything.
No, it's fine because like I said, this wasn't a very good Raw, and I'm in the mindset now where I'm thinking, my goodness, like how far has Roman Reigns fallen from what could have been?
And by the time they pump him up, people are still gonna be like, meh.
You're like, who cares? Because they had an opportunity. We've discussed this numerous times. They should have kept Daniel Bryan away from the Royal Rumble, waited at least until he came back, wait until he comes back after the Royal Rumble. So that way you have Roman Reigns. He's not public enemy number one because he won and Daniel Bryan did not. He'd had an excellent showing at WrestleMania, but they didn't build from that. Like, he took the best that Brock Lesnar had to offer, and he kept fighting. They could have built that.
Which was good.
Yeah, they could have built from that, saying he's not going to give up. He's going to keep fighting and get back up. Like, you're going to have to tear this guy apart.
Never going to give up.
Yeah. And ever since then, it's just been, it's just bad. But, I don't know. I don't have any interest in Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt.
I don't either.
I don't have any interest in Sheamus.
Neither.
So this matchup was a flop to begin with. The action itself was fine. They went out and did what they did. But the match ended in a no contest, which I'm surprised it didn't end in a count out of some kind, whether it be a double count out or just a regular. But match ends, no contest, no bells rung.
I'm a little deep, but short and stuff.
That's just so weird. Why is he? I get it.
Me over and pour me out.
Yeah, he's trying to do the whole creepy vibe. Here's a picture of you and your daughter having a tea party. Oh, what a loving dad.
Man.
Yeah, so it's just stupid. Find me. So,
Blip.
And then he finds where he was, and it was all creepy pictures.
Some person they didn't show was rocking the rocking chair with their hand at the bottom.
That's right. So, again, this Raw had potential. Like, it could have been great, but the matches that they put together, just no interest in them. The next matchup was Neville versus Kofi Kingston.
Had potential.
It wasn't a bad match. It was a short match.
Yeah.
Neville ended up getting the win because the New Day came out, and then Primetime Players came out to
about to attack. New Day was about to attack Neville, and then Primetime Players came out, and then pretty much all four of them got ejected.
Yep. So Neville ends up winning with the red arrow, which is cool.
Green arrow,
blue arrow, whatever. Which takes us to the next matchup. King Barrett, because he's been on a roll, going up against Zack Ryder because he's been on a roll. And King Barrett gets the win. Short matchup.
Truth out there?
No, they did a promo where he's wearing his aluminum tin can crown and carrying around a plunger. So there was that.
I don't care.
Yeah. It's just, I'm not trying to bash it, but this is just, like I said, this is just a bad week for Raw. John Cena and Kevin Owens, that was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the work. That's
what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, these two have great chemistry. I really think this is going to go down as one of those really good rivalries.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, people are going to look back in a few years and be like, you know what? That Owens-Cena work was pretty good. It was pretty solid. Because, you always think back on some of those great rivalries that Cena has had. Like, coming to mind, Cena versus Edge, Cena versus Orton, Cena and Punk, and I think Cena and Owens is gonna be right up there with them.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I like the work. I like that Kevin Owens was even pointing out the parts where he's like, okay, here's where I'm gonna get the crowd to get behind you, Cena, and here's where they're gonna hate the nasty old foreigner for speaking a different language. So, Owens is really coming to his own. He's really doing a fantastic job. Even on NXT, he's acknowledging the crowd and what they're trying to chant and what they're trying to say, and he's using taunts from every which way, which I think is really cool. So they're letting him get away with a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
So, which just shows that they're really
have faith in him.
Yeah, they're really backing him.
We're giving you the ball.
The ball, that's right. So look forward to having this match. See, here's the thing. I know we were hoping that this match would be taking place at SummerSlam, but it looks like it's going to be taking at Battleground for the U.S. title. So, with that being said, do you think that Owens will win the U.S. title and Cena would want his rematch at SummerSlam? That way we get a
Probably
best of 5?
Yeah, I would take it.
Yeah, because these two have had great chemistry. The series is tied at 1. This would be the third, which is normally a rubber match, but this would give us a chance to have at least a 4th match.
Yeah.
Which I am all for, because these guys are every time they're getting in the ring together, they're tearing it down. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's gold.
Yeah. So next up, we got to see the heel team of the Bella Twins going up against the heel team of Naomi and Tamina, with the heel side Alicia Fox on the Bella Twin side for whatever reason. Who's heel and who's face? No one is face. So what's the reasoning for this?
I have no clue.
And the Bellas ended up getting the victory. What's the reasoning for this?
I have no clue.
Yeah. Okay, so you're supposed to be building a viable contender for your Divas Championship.
The Divas are like how the tag team division was a while back.
Yeah. Lost.
So hopefully if we ignore it for a while, they'll get good.
At this point in time, you have 2 divas on the Divas roster, on the main WWE roster, that are faces.
Yeah.
Paige, who is gone for Tough Enough, and Natalya, who is gone because, she was with the whole Cesaro and Kidd, and now Tyson Kidd is out because of injury.
Yeah.
So all you're left now with is heel divas. So it's going to be heel diva versus heel diva.
I bet someone's like, oh, this is kind of cool. How about we do heel diva?
No, this is terrible. This is a terrible idea.
Well, let's try it this way. Like,
they need to start bringing up some of the female talent. I think it's time.
Yeah, but what if they put them in a direction we don't like?
I mean, as long as they don't turn them heel.
We're going to bring the 4 horsewomen in. 4 women.
Yeah.
Horsewomen. And we're going to turn them heel.
Yeah, they're all going to be heel.
Because I think heel versus heel is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It got that cool edge, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than those goody two-shoes.
Yeah, they're edgy. Yeah, faces. That's right. Yeah. So Bella Twins defeat Naomi and Tamina. Nothing really to take away from the matchup. Another matchup to really take away nothing from. Ryback versus Mark Henry. And I know, Tyler, you were all about this matchup.
Yeah, but I was like,
but in a not a good
Mark
way.
Henry was heel.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
He was his face a while, when he was in that Elimination Chamber match, right?
Well, he was cheered because it was his, first time back in a while. But I don't know. He goes back and forth. Apparently, Big Show had stuff to say to Mark Henry after the matchup.
I'm not behind Ryback, and I do prefer Big Show over Ryback, but I'm not into the feud.
Yeah.
I don't care that Miz is added to it, even though he wasn't part of this right here. I like Mark Henry, but Mark Henry wasn't him in this match with all the situation wasn't good enough.
The loss.
It wasn't good enough to save this whole
It was like a
situation.
6-minute match. We saw 3 minutes of it because they went to commercial, of course. I mean, I feel like their point now is they're trying to say, okay, we're sports entertainment, but we do a lot more. We have reality shows and we have movies and stuff. You don't want to watch the wrestling stuff. So whenever they actually come out to wrestle, we'll go to commercial. And then whenever we come back from commercial, we'll see the end of the match. You'll be happy. And then we'll do a 15-minute promo. And then we'll go to commercial. We'll come back. We'll start a match. And then we'll go to commercial during that. So that way, you don't miss a second of the next promo that's coming up.
Meh.
Yeah. Storytelling my ass.
Hey, how about we go to the main event?
Yeah, because Ryback ended up getting the victory. Big Show and Ryback brawled backstage, which took us to the main event of Raw, that being Adam Rose, main event of Raw, Adam Rose, main event of Raw, Adam Rose.
Who?
Adam Rose.
What was he part of?
Rosebud. Adam Rose.
What was he part of?
The Exotic Express.
Part of what?
Part of the main event of Raw with Rosa Mendez. And their kisses are awkward. I can't imagine how his wife feels watching stuff like that.
He makes the money.
Like, I get it. Okay, it's a show. We're actors. We're portraying characters. Just like any other sitcom or drama or movie or anything like that. But still, to see the open mouth kiss and all that and the little strand of saliva stuck between the...
Dolph sometimes is like, he just does a little kiss. And
Dolph is awkward kissing
because he probably knows that it's like...
Like, whenever it was him and AJ, they were going, like, all out. Yeah. They were tongues deep. Yeah.
Well, I'm acting pretty goofy this episode.
Well, that's because there's nothing else to really talk about.
Yep.
Dolph Ziggler going up against Adam Rose for the main event of Raw. Dolph Ziggler getting the win. No real big surprise, and he makes out with Lana, which is pretty cool. But after that, we got to see the Authority reunite. Seth Rollins pleading his case. Please, J&J Security. Please, Kane. Let's be one again. Let's be a team.
Let's be a whole.
Let's be a family. And it seemed at first that they were not going to support him as Brock Lesnar came out, but then they later had his back and beat down Brock Lesnar. And
Brock got him back, but he also
he took a bit out of Jamie Noble.
I don't know. So what was his injuries?
3 broken ribs. Yeah,
just by picking him up and just slamming him on the.
Yeah, that much force.
3. I know he's a small
ribs.
guy, but I didn't think it did that much damage.
Like, whenever I watched him throw Mercury, I was like, oh man, he almost got hurt on that one. Like, that was a bad landing. And then for him to pick up Noble and run him into the barricade, slam into him, and break 3 of his ribs from that.
3, good lord.
And this is a guy who has been in the wrestling business for over a decade, who is used to falling, who is used to taking a bump.
And he's like, guess what? I don't really wrestle that much anymore. I'm not
He just wrestled like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's still not much.
So he's used to taking bumps, and Brock Lesnar breaks 3 of his ribs.
Well, Brock's a badass.
I mean, that's quite a bit.
Gonna fuck you up.
Pretty much. So, hopefully, I mean, my God, I've never broken a rib, but I hear people talking about it all the time. You cannot sleep because you can't breathe right. Like, it hurts to breathe and all that. It's just insane. So, I mean, best of luck, dude. That sucks. I hope he heals up very quickly, or he gets some good pain medication.
I don't know how I feel about J Security.
Now it can be Joey and Kane, so it'd be JK.
JK
Security, just kidding.
JK Chevrolet.
No. So Seth Rollins standing tall over an injured Brock Lesnar as they worked his leg. It was another one of those miscues by Kane. He couldn't get it right, and then Seth Rollins went and did it, made it look a lot better. But I don't know. It was just nuts. Man, this is going to be a really short episode. Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for Raw. Let's talk a little bit about Lucha Underground because, we're stalling for time, basically.
Yeah.
It was an all-night long match, so there was only one match for us to talk about this week. What a week to pick it, right?
Yeah.
But it was a fun match.
Yeah, for sure.
There were parts that I liked, there were parts that I didn't like.
It started out slow.
Well, I mean, that's a given. That's with any long match that they're going to do. They're going to start out slow. But the thing that I loved about this matchup was the use of the crowbar when Mundo hit Puma, and then he got those 3 quick pins.
You don't see that.
You don't, and that's what I love about it, is because, I do that in the video games.
You don't.
I'll hit the finisher, get the pin, as soon as he gets back up, do a signature, do a finisher, pin him again, I'm relentless, and that's exactly what he was during this portion of the matchup. Hit him with the crowbar, took him out, got a pin, picked him back up, did a kick, did a finisher, pinned him again, picked him back up. Okay, we're racking up points now. I understand the logic of I'm going to burn time, but even if you're up by 3 pins,
keep on going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You need to make it definitive. You need to make sure he's not coming back even if he tries. So make it like 6-0, 6-1, something like that. But again, I understand what they're going with. You gotta have it build and build and build to where he comes back and eventually does get the win, which he did. Spots were good. Match was fun. Crowd was definitely into it.
Oh, for sure.
Announcers were definitely into it.
The one where they dropped from the top onto the
tables
and stuff.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But and I understand that it's it's billed as a hour-long match, but obviously they take commercial breaks. They do a little bit of editing during that time, so there was probably some lull points while they were doing the commercial breaks. But like I said, again, I understand that it's logic. You got to build for something. Don't climb up to the band and be like, "Hey, play a song while I take a sip of water." It's a victory. I'm winning. Yay, let's party. So I don't know. It's just those little things where I'm just like, nope, not gonna buy into that. And the fact that Puma didn't continue to sell his injury, like whenever he was making his comeback and getting the victories,
he
was getting the pinfalls. He was doing kicks and landing on his head, acting like nothing was wrong. So
to do that, I guess you had to do some other moves and stuff. That's his arsenal. And to come back 3, I guess you had to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, Conan. He was out there too. But, whatever. It was what it was. It was a fun match. I'm looking forward to this week's where they have more than one match for us to talk about. It was, like I said, Raw was bad. Lucha was fun. I got to catch a little bit of NXT. I watched the Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens stuff, so that was pretty fun. And we're also, if you listen to our Sports Radio Beaumont show, we talk about the live from Tokyo, Japan WWE show that's going to be coming up. So you definitely want to check that out. We're going to go ahead and wrap the show up this week, and then we're going to close out with our interview with Raymond Rowe. So we certainly thank you everyone for listening. Sorry it's a short week this week.
Sorry.
Sorry for that. But hey, tune in next week. All new episode. Doug's going to be back, I believe. Yes?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Very cool. So thanks everyone for listening. You've been listening to the WNS podcast. Make sure to submit questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video. Check out also on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're also on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
And make sure you follow us on the Twitters.
At
WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, at Tyler_Abear. So there you go. That's going to do it for this week. I'm Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
There you go. Thanks for listening. And check out our awesome interview with Raymond Rowe. Have a good week.
Thanks, guys.
You're listening to a special interview segment for the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Okay, folks, joining us on the show this week, he is one half of the ROH Tag Team War Machine, the one and only Ray Rowe. Ray, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, we certainly appreciate you coming on. You can follow Ray on Twitter at RaymondXRowe or on Facebook.com/RaymondXRowe. You're going to be out at the Bustin' for Autism taking place July 12th out of the Pasadena Convention Center. They're going to be having a special meet and greet with all the superstars from 3 to 6 p.m. with bell time right at 6. Proceeds are going to be going to a nonprofit charity, Bustin' for Autism. There's going to be special guests Colt Cabana, Alberto El Patron, Tommy Dreamer, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Hernandez, many more. For all the details on that, go to ClutchCityProductions.com or LoneStarWrestling.com for tickets and further details. Now, you, Ray, you're going to be going up against Hernandez from Lucha Underground, so it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be sort of a Ring of Honor versus Lucha Underground kind of matchup at this event. What are your thoughts on your opponent?
I've known Hernandez for a while now, multiple years, and I've actually wrestled him for the first time about 6 months ago in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, before I ever moved to Texas. And then I came to Texas 5 years ago, and I wrestled with him a lot in San Antonio. Now, he and I have both changed gears in our career since then. I'm a very different person and very different opponent than the one he remembers last. So if he thinks that that's the Ray Rowe that's going to step in the ring with him, he's going to be surprised in a very bad way. I know that Hernandez is very, very talented. He's a big, strong guy, but I'm about 25 pounds heavier than the last time I was stepped in the ring with Hernandez, and I'm in the best shape of my life. So I hope, for his sake, that he brings his A game.
Very cool. So it's definitely going to be one of those matches you can't afford to miss. Going to be a great time. And you can be seen regularly on Ring of Honor programming on all Sinclair Network stations and also on Destination America now on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. What was your reaction when you heard that Ring of Honor had been picked up by Destination America?
I'll tell you, that was a crazy day for everyone involved with Ring of Honor because that announcement was guarded so closely that there were only 3 people in the entire organization that knew it was going to happen beforehand. I had so much social media outreach through Instagram, through Twitter, through Facebook, that my phone literally went from a full charge to dying in an hour.
Wow.
I was at the gym when the announcement happened, or I was driving to the gym when the announcement happened, and my phone vibrated. I parked my car, I checked my phone, and I was like, the first picture I saw, I was like, that can't be real. I haven't heard anything about that. That can't be real. And then the text messages started, and my phone literally didn't stop vibrating. I had to turn it off vibrate because it was vibrating so much. And I had something, several hundred messages in a matter of 60 minutes, and it just completely burned my phone battery. It was a crazy day. A crazy day. Crazy good. It was not a surprise that I was expecting. But it's really, really positive thing, and it's really building momentum for Ring of Honor right now.
Did you or anyone in the locker room feel a sense of, okay, it's time to show what we've got, time to step up our game when we heard the news, when y'all got on Destination America, knowing that there was another company on that channel?
To be completely honest, it's not changing who Ring of Honor is. We're not really stepping up as much as we are doing the same thing we've always done. We're just now reaching a broader audience. If you've ever attended a Ring of Honor event, there isn't really an extra gear for these guys to go. We are already performing at the absolute limits of physical capacity. I mean, guys are literally risking their lives every single night and hitting each other as hard as we possibly can every single night, leaving every ounce of themselves in the ring. So what this Destination America does, it doesn't change who Ring of Honor is. This just allows us to be seen, to be recognized, and to reach that many more people who haven't experienced the passion, haven't experienced the magic, haven't experienced, the best wrestling on the planet. Now they're getting a chance to.
Absolutely. And if you have not been to a live Ring of Honor show, Tyler and I can attest, it is absolutely amazing. You're going to have a great time.
So fun.
we went to New Orleans during WrestleMania 30 weekend and got to go to all the Ring of Honor events, and it was just an absolute blast.
That was a big weekend.
Big weekend. It was amazing. We had such a great time, and I bought the DVD and everything of the event. It was great from Supercard. But we have seen over the last few months, we've seen sort of a surge of wrestling talent appearing on different promotions, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Global Force, all, Lucha. Over the past few months, plenty of them have stopped by Ring of Honor. Is there anyone that you preferably would like to see in Ring of Honor that you'd like to go up against?
Well, one guy who's in Ring of Honor currently, who I would love to wrestle one-on-one, is AJ Styles.
Oh yeah,
he's a guy who I've never got a chance. I've been involved now in a couple different tag team situations with him, but I've never had the opportunity to go one-on-one with him. And right now, he holds the IWGP heavyweight title, which to me is one next to the Ring of Honor world title is the most prestigious titles in the world. So I'm counting AJ top 3 wrestlers in the entire world right now, and I want to see how I stack up. I really, really want to wrestle AJ Styles one-on-one. The other guys that I want to wrestle is actually a rematch. We started some unfinished business in San Antonio, and it's the Killer Elite Squad.
Nice.
The referee actually threw the match out because nobody was listening to the 1-in, 1-out rule. All 4 of us were in the ring, and it went on for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes where we just continued wrestling and fighting and fighting and fighting, and the referee lost all control, and he threw the match out. Nobody was ready for the match to end, us, the crowd, anybody. So nothing was resolved. We don't know who would have won that match because we were still halfway through the fight. So there's a lot of unfinished business. There's a lot of, we have a lot of respect for KES and what they've done, but we think we're the better team. They obviously think they're the better team. They've got some accolades in pro wrestling. Noah, they're the GHC heavyweight tag team champions. They're the NWA world tag team champions. We don't have those accolades yet, and we want them. So, it's kind of that prison mentality. You walk into prison the first day and you go after the biggest guy. We want KES, and we want them back. We want to show everybody exactly what we're what we're capable of.
Very cool. Yeah, you've teamed up with Hanson to form War Machine, gone on the destructive warpath, so to speak. So what's it like working with Hanson? Do y'all ride together from show to show, backstage? Do y'all pal around? Is it more of a business meeting, or are y'all, more pals?
You know what? He's my roommate on the road at Ring of Honor. So, he's definitely a guy that, and when we're traveling between shows for Ring of Honor, we drive together, we ride together. We're definitely always in the same car. He's a guy who I've become friends with. I didn't know him before we both started with Ring of Honor in that Top Prospect tournament, but he's a guy who's become one of my best friends, which is really fortunate, with the business side of it, being that we did form a tag team and we've got some success together. To be able to do that with somebody who's such a good friend is really a blessing, because that doesn't always happen. And he and I think very similarly about the business and about life and about what's important and priorities. Neither one of us drink or smoke or do anything like that. So it's nice. It's not a clash of styles. It's not a clash of personalities. And when we get in the ring, it's all business. So it really works out. I'm fortunate to have crossed paths. When we did, it was kind of one of those right place, right time moments, and we hit the ground running together.
How did your family react whenever you said that you wanted to become a professional wrestler? Were they supportive? Were they a little bit apprehensive? Because it's it's a tough business to get into. It's a tough business on you physically and emotionally and mentally. So your family's always got to look out for you and make sure that their little boy is safe, or their husband is okay when they're on the road. So how did your family take that news whenever you said, "I want to be a wrestler"?
Well, I mean, I've been involved in violent contact sports my entire life. So and I've loved wrestling since I was literally 5 years old. So I don't think it was that much of a surprise to my family that I was going to do something violent with my life. As far as my mom and dad goes, my dad was really supportive. He's been supportive through all my athletic stuff. Whether it was playing, from the time I was playing t-ball to running track, throwing shot put, wrestling. I started wrestling in 5th grade, and I wrestled through college. And I played football through middle school, high school, all that stuff. I mean, I trained in MMA. I've dabbled in boxing. I've done some stuff. A lot of contact stuff. I think with pro wrestling, it was just an extension of that lifestyle. I was right place, right time. I got involved in the business when I did. Got around some really, really good guys, and they took care of me. My mom always worries. She's always scared that I'm going to get hurt or that, something bad is going to happen. But she's supportive. Luckily, I'm 30 years old now, so I've been through several relationships romantically, and not everybody has been as supportive as others. Luckily, the girl of my dreams, the girl that I'm with now, I've never met a more supportive person in my life. She is 100% behind board, whatever I have to do crazy to prep for a show, whether it's, my diet, my training regimen, my travel, anything. It's just whatever you need, babe. I got you, whatever you need. You do it. You do it. You do this because she knows it's what I do, and it's what my passion is, and it's what makes me happy. So I cannot speak enough about how important that support system is for something like we do that's physically demanding and is time away from people and stuff like that. If you've got somebody at home who is giving you crap about it, you're not going to have a very long career.
Being a wrestling fan, who has been your biggest influence in your wrestling career?
That's a complicated question. Obviously when I was 5 years old, I was a Hulkamaniac, doing poses on demand. As I get a little older, I got into ECW. That was kind of booming right as I was in high school. And you can see a lot in my style. I borrowed very liberally from Taz. Especially earlier in my career, I was actually known as the new suplex machine. It was just a very, not very subtle homage to the human suplex machine. And he was an amateur wrestling guy, so I've kind of gravitated towards amateur wrestling guys as being my idols, the guys I emulate, so Taz, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, guys like that who were, big, power, athletic guys. And these were massive individuals, but they could wrestle, they could move. Brock could do shooting star presses. He didn't always, but he had the athleticism to do it. So I tried to mold myself in that position because I can physically do a lot of things that would kind of open people's eyes, as far as aerial stuff. And it's just something that I don't need to pull out, so I don't. I appreciate that athleticism. Guys further back, you gotta love Stan Hansen and Terry Funk and the Von Erichs and all the great wrestlers through Texas. I mean, it's just the people through here are amazing. So, but like big guys that I watch or I pay attention to are like Dr. Death, Stan Hansen, Vader, Bruiser Brody, Terry Funk. I watch a lot of their Japanese stuff and just, and I'm amazed at what they were doing at the time they were doing.
This next one is sort of a two-part question. We like to ask these kind of questions. One, what would be a fantasy match that you would like to watch between two wrestlers, past or present? And another one would be, who would you like to face, past or present? That would be a fantasy match for you.
Who I'd like to see wrestle right now. One of the guys that I'm the biggest fans of right now watching is Kyle O'Reilly. From Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't know if you were watching his current stuff, but he is performing at such a high level that it's literally insane. Like I watch him, and he's a guy that I have a lot of respect for, and I can't process some of the things that he's able to do, some of the magic he's able to create in the ring. So I would love to see him go, a 30-minute Iron Man match with AJ Styles. Just go out and just shine. I'd love to see him wrestle Okada. I mean, it's stuff like that. Like I think those matches would be amazing. He just competed in the Best of Super Juniors, and I don't know if you saw him versus Kushida for the finals. But if you like wrestling, go watch Kyle O'Reilly versus Kushida in the main event. And I know we're asking, fantasy matches. That is a fantasy match. Like you will literally not be the same wrestling fan after you watch that match as you were beforehand. So anytime you can see that matchup, I would say that should top anybody's fantasy list. Past, who I would like to wrestle from the past. I would love to get in the ring with, like I said, Stan Hansen or Dr. Death Steve Williams or Terry Funk. I think any one of those guys would just be amazing. From a tag team standpoint, I think War Machine versus the Steiner brothers in their Japan days, in the late 80s, early 90s, when they were just killing people, or the AWA Road Warriors versus War Machine would be some crazy matches.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome.
Now we do have to talk about your motorcycle incident. Unfortunately, you did suffer a motorcycle injury back in August. You were out for several months. You were even told by doctors that you would never wrestle again. And for any wrestler, you have to take that under extreme consideration. Did at any point you think your career was actually going to end, or did that say to you, I'm going to drive to push through this rehab. I'm going to get back in that ring. I don't care what these doctors think.
Well, before I answer that, there was actually a more serious thing said to me than "you'll never wrestle again." The doctor looked at me dead in the face and said, "I don't know why you're alive."
Wow.
So he said, literally, like medically, I cannot explain to you how you survived your accident.
That's crazy.
That kind of puts some things in perspective.
Absolutely.
Then the first surgeon I went to said that I'll never wrestle again. I went to a second surgeon who was a guy who actually worked on some WWE guys, and he said that he could put my arm back together, and he thought I had a realistic shot of being back in the ring in 8 to 12 months. And if I did everything right, and I had full clearance at 5 months.
Wow.
And I had my first match 6 months and 1 day from my accident, or from my surgery. From my accident. 6 months and 1 day from my accident.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah. So, he said typical recovery time was 8 to 12 months, and he said realistically for me to be, back to being whole would be probably 9 to 12 months realistically. And I had full clearance at 5 and was back in the ring in 6. It was I was very, very fortunate that I had the support system I did, because it was definitely the lowest point of my life. You ask, there were times where I thought it was all over. There were times where I really questioned whether or not I was ever going to be whole again. To go from somebody who's literally in their athletic prime, in their best shape of their life, doing living their dreams, to not be able to do things like take your shirt off, not be able to do things like tie your shoes or take a shower. It was incredibly humbling and depressing, and if I didn't have the people around me in my life at the time, I wouldn't have been able to make the recovery that I did. My girl was actually, we were together then, and she was over every single day, making sure I could eat, making sure I took a shower, making sure that I had what I needed. I had my little brother Shane Taylor around, who, as soon as I was able to rehab, or as soon as I was able to start going to the gym, we were in the gym 6 to 7 days a week. Every single week, before I could drive, he would pick me up and take me to the gym, and we would go. I had, and the other guy that I had who was instrumental in this was Jax Dane. Jax was checking on me every day. Anytime he was in town, we lifted together, we worked out together, we ate together, and Jax is my roommate now. So, and he's actually just he just tore his tricep, and he's going through his own rehab. So now I get to literally return the favor for what he did to me during my recovery. So I'm taking him to the gym, and we're working together and dieting together and training together. It's all come full circle there.
Very cool. Always nice to have that support. It's unbelievable what a support system can actually do for a person.
Yes, sir.
You just can't explain it. And we certainly appreciate your time. We are certainly glad that you're still here with us. There's got to be a reason for it, and it's you're affecting other people's lives by telling that story, and going out there and showing this is what happens if you don't give up. You go back out there and You rehab harder than you thought you could. You push yourself a little bit further than you thought you could, and you end up waking up the next day and the next one and the further one.
And the recovery has actually, and the accident, the whole process has actually, for social media savvy as everybody is, it spawned a hashtag, and I use that in the ring. It's now a moniker, and it's hashtag hard to kill. And I'm now announced as hard to kill Raymond Rowe because I literally am. It's difficult to end my life, I guess. But it's something that started during the recovery process, and it's just carried through to the ring. So it's I use it to remind people what I went through and exactly what you're talking about. If you don't give up, you are hard to kill. Your will is hard to kill.
Absolutely, and we're very glad that you're here with us, and we're going to get to see you on July 12th out at the Pasadena Convention Center for the charity event, Bustin' for Autism. Again, they're going to be having a special meet and greet, 3 to 6 p.m., bell time at 6, proceeds going to the charity, Bustin' for Autism. Plenty of special guests. Make sure you go to ClutchCityProductions.com or LoneStarWrestling.com for tickets and further details. Raymond Rowe, it has certainly been an honor, a pleasure. We certainly appreciate your time.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Later, man.
Bye-bye.